So I was asked to define what scleroderma is. So basically, I'll explain what I have. And I have linear scleroderma, and I'll read what that is from this pamphlet. Well, it's localized in Localized scleroderma mainly affects the skin. It can also affect tissue beneath the skin, including fat, connective tissue, muscle, and bone. But it doesn't affect internal organs. It usually begins in children between ages 7 and 10, and is slightly more common in girls than boys. Adult onset is less common. There are two main types of localized scleroderma, morphea and linear. Linear scleroderma. Lines or streaks of thickened skin formed over an area of the body, such as an arm, leg, or the head. These lines can form in more than one area and can cause deep tissue injury, affecting the bones and muscles beneath the involved skin. These changes in skin, muscle, and bone can limit the normal motion of the involved joint in the growth of underlying muscles and bones. So, basically, it only affects the outside of your body, and systemic scleroderma affects both most of the time. It affects the outside and your internal organs, but I only have it on the outside. So, my first spot was on my hip, right here, and I was diagnosed when I was 5 at Mayo. And I still see the doctor who diagnosed me today. My spots started getting pretty much all over the backs of my legs and on my hips, and then my shoulder, and then my stomach, and a little over here. And it's not active anymore, but I can tell that some of the spots are definitely deepening. So I haven't had any new spots since I was 12, or before that. That's when I got off my medication. When I think was about 7 years old, I started taking methotrexate to stop the spots from forming. And that was really hard on my body. It made me very sick for at least a day or two, so I'd end up missing school, or we'd try taking it on the weekends, and I'd have like no weekend. And I was on and off of that for several years because they would take me off of it to see if the scleroderma was active anymore, and it would always come back. And I actually had flat warts all over the backs of my hands, and a little on my knees, and actually some on my face, but they're gone now. And right around when I was 12, I remember I was going to stop taking methotrexate again, and I'm really confident this time that that scleroderma wasn't going to come back. So I remember heading up to Shriners, and all of the warts I had on my hands were just like hardening and changing colors and falling off and just going away and disappearing. And yeah, right after that I'd gotten off my medication, and it's been years now, and the scleroderma has not come back. I haven't had any new spots, and the warts they've been gone. I have not gotten another flat wart since then, and they just all disappeared all at once within a few days, and I have no scars from them. So we don't know if that's related or what, but it seems to be, since my scleroderma went away at the same time. But basically it's affected me mostly, I guess, with physical stuff. I didn't take PE in high school, and it's usually, I like to do stuff outdoors like hiking, and I can do that, but not for as long as, I guess, the average person, because I get a lot of pain in my feet. So it also has affected my feet a lot. My right foot, it made 2 of my toes stop growing, and on my left foot, it took away my arch, the spots did, and then made my foot turn outward, and then also I started walking on the side of my foot. And it got worse and worse as the years went by. So I finally had surgery on it, and they removed all the bad skin and tissue, and sadly they had to remove a nerve and a tendon. So they replaced it with a muscle flap from my thigh and a skin graft from this thigh. So I have perfectly healthy skin and tissue down there now, and I'll get to see it when I get my cast taken off this Friday. And they also put a bone in to give me an arch. So my foot automatically was able to straighten out when they took that bad skin away. And as soon as they put that bone in, I had an arch. So my foot is just, the structure of it, I guess, is normal now. It may not look normal on the outside, but it feels a lot better, I can already tell. So, also, the spots have really deepened in here, where it's hard for me to hold on to things for more than a few minutes in this arm. And I think that's it. I guess emotionally, I'm always stressed about new spots, worried about getting new spots, and I guess embarrassed about some of the spots that I have. But also I like to try to take pride in it. That's kind of why I got the Scleroderma warrior tattoo. So, yeah, I mean, it's definitely been tough. People always wonder what's on the back of my legs, because they used to look like bruises when my Scleroderma was activated. It was like all my spots were purplish bluish, and now the spots are all brownish yellowish, so kind of less noticeable, but a lot of times people think I have something dirty on my legs. So yeah, and it's less noticeable when I'm tanner, which doesn't happen often. So. But yeah, so I guess it mostly has affected me physically, because emotionally I'm kind of past it, and with the whole surgery and everything, I think things are going to be a lot better. So that's what Scleroderma is to me.